Everybody, happy Friday. Welcome to DVtv Live. We've got Israel back.
Hi.
He had some chicken soup or something, got over his pneumonia.
It must have just been like a quick little, couple of day thing because I felt miserable one day and I just did nothing but catch up on a lot of Netflix and Hulu, a lot of shows.
Yeah.
And just ate soup and just drank a lot of fluids. And then the next morning, I started getting hunger pains, and I was like, "Oh, I'm getting hungry. That's a good sign."
Yes.
Like for actually food. And then I just felt better. And that's it.
Well, I'm glad you're better.
Yeah, me too.
Glad you don't have like Ebola or something.
All right.
That wouldn't be good. He couldn't do this anymore.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't have Ebola either.
or the Zika or whatever.
Zika, yeah.
The creeper's coming by, y'all. Y'all can't see him, but he's here. That's Chad. He's busy today.
Very busy.
So, what are we going to talk about? Let me say what's in the paper this week real quick, and then we're going to just talk about. You had some Christmas stuff. There you go. Y'all see the cover? The cover is, in case you didn't know, I'm Tammye Nash. This is DVtv Live. This is Israel Luna.
I think they know who we are. Let's hope.
But I'm supposed to do that, and I always forget. Anyway, welcome to Friday. Welcome to DVtv Live. You saw the cover there. We actually have two cover stories because we have two legends in our community who are retiring. Carol West, who has been the pastor at Celebration Community Church for 20 years as of this past August, will be retiring December 30th. That Sunday is she will preach her final sermon. I went over and interviewed her, did a story. And then, believe it or not, Don Mason with Aid Services is retiring in February. I can't remember the exact date, but he will retire effective February.
Yeah.
So, and David Taffet went and sat down with him and I think spent like 3 days or something doing an interview. Really not, but it was a long interview. And David wrote a story about Don and his time with Aid Services. He is the longest serving director, CEO, executive director of an aid service organization in the country.
Wow.
And it's been since 1989, I think, is when he took over.
I wasn't born yet.
Right. Just a glint in somebody's eye. But he is, and then that is in one single agency. I mean, Stephen Pace, and it's mentioned in the story, who's with AIN, has served as a head of an AIDS agency longer than Don by maybe a year or two, but in not the same agency. He has been at a different agency, whereas Don has been at Aid Services.
Wow.
All that time. It's a long, long time. So those are both in this. There's also a story, LGBT. We joke, and Don and Carol don't get mad at me for saying this. We joke about this being our old gay people issue because we also have a story about the Coalition for Aging LGBT has put together a report, a 70, 80-page report, grading 17 assisted living facilities, like nursing homes, assisted living facilities, on how they handle LGBT residents and where is the best place to go if you're going to live in one of these facilities. And when you're young, you don't think about it. You're out, you're happy, everything's wonderful. But a lot of us, I mean, more of us now, but a lot of us don't have children. Mm-hmm. There's nobody there to take care of you. Mm-hmm. A lot of people, especially the ones that are older now, they don't have good relationships with any family. Right? Yeah. They came out, got kicked out, whatever. So where do you go? Who's going to take care of you? And a lot of people, from what they say, a lot of older LGBT people who have to go into one of these assisted living or nursing home situations are forced back into the closet. They can't be themselves. And, you have a couple that's been together for 50, 60 years, and they move into one of these facilities, and they're treated like they're strangers, basically, to one another. They're not allowed to be together in some places in the same room.
See, I'm glad that you guys are bringing light to that, and you know, because these are things that I never thought of.
Right.
It's like, oh, that's right.
But
What
as you get
would
a little
happen?
older, you start thinking about these things.
And then you're a little more helpless as well,
Yes.
because they see you as someone older that you don't know what you're talking about now, so you have less control over things, or you can be more easily manipulated into stuff. So you need
have
somebody
the physical capabilities a lot of times they used to.
Yeah.
But Coalition for Aging LGBT is doing really, really, really important work. And this is one of the things that they're doing. So we have that story. And Arnold has reviews. He has an interview with Margot Robbie.
Oh, Margot Robbie. Yeah,
About,
Oscar nominated.
Yes, about her role in Mary Queen of Scots.
Whoa, nice.
There's
Every gay person's going to want to see this movie. It looks so much fun.
She talks about how to do Queen Elizabeth drag right.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
But also the movie, I mean, it's going to attract a lot of our community, because it's two very, you know, posh women like fighting over attention and power.
Elizabethan dynasty.
Yeah, it's sort of like a modern day
Crystal
All
and what's her
About
name?
Eve. Yeah, and Crystal and what's
Alexis.
Yeah,
Yes,
all
in
of
the
that.
lily pond, girl.
Why is it that we relate to like we're
I
just
don't know.
drawn to like
I don't
cat
know.
fighting?
I know. Us gay men, we can't help it.
Yeah, and it's usually two women, not two men. We don't care about the
Unless
men.
they're
fighting.
really girly men.
That's true. That's
that can
true.
be that gets our attention.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, he does. We have an interview with her by Chris Has a Party with Q Syndicate, and Arnold has reviewed the new Mary Poppins.
I'm so jealous that he's already seen it.
He didn't like it very much.
What?
I figure I probably will.
I'm
he
still
also
gonna
has
watch
a small, it. Oh, me too. He has a small, or shorter review, not I'm gonna say small, shorter review of the Spider-Verse animated movie.
Oh yeah.
And then we have Casey Williams has reviewed what we all want, the Range Rover. Driving that, elevate yourself into a Range Rover. So we've got that.
Yourself.
And of course, there's, as always, we have the Gay Agenda and Instant Tea. The Gay Agenda and everything that's going on. So check it out. Find out what's going on, where you need to be. We have basically 3 calendar sections. We have Gay Agenda, which is more community events, fundraiser type things. Towards the back, we have Best Bets and the Arts and Entertainment calendar. And then Scene is basically the bar calendar. You know, we try to make sure.
For all of you bar trash people.
Like me, if I weren't so damn old.
You're not old, you're just young, and please. Excuse me.
State of my nerves, Ted, sneaking up on us again, cracks me up. So that's what's in the paper. So now we're going to talk about.
Nice. Yeah.
Israel, I think, has an announcement.
Yes. Well, should I do the announcement yet, or the subjects that we want to talk about? So I was late today. We'll just start with that.
A little bit.
I was late today because I was talking to a couple of potential investors, but it's pretty much becoming kind of official. Last year, I shot a 30-minute short film called Beaver.
Yes.
And yes, Rendezvous, who is a drag queen writer, had this really amazing script, hired me to direct it and edit it, and it's doing really well. We just got distribution, by the way.
All right.
For it.
You guys won an award.
We won 2 awards at the
Okay.
Q Cinema Film Festival in Fort Worth, and with that screening, we got distribution.
That's excellent.
From a distributor out.
Congratulations, Rendezvous.
Yeah, from New York City. In New York City
New York City.
That's where the distributor is from.
Absolutely fabulous.
So, with saying that, I had always had a film concept, and I spoke to Rendezvous about it, and that's why we connected, because I had Beaver is about, you know, the country living, like this country, kind of trashy country family.
Isn't it the name of the town?
Very podunk, based in Beaver, Oklahoma.
Yes.
And the hook to the movie is all the women roles are played by trans and drag queens, transgender women and drag queens. And I had always wanted to do a sort of Dallas corporate business version of that, and having it called Business Women. And all of these women are CEOs of big, important important businesses and just glamorous, and they're all like the Heather Locklears in Melrose Place. They're all the Joan Collins in Dynasty. They're all those type of women, corporate world.
Cut you with their shoulder pads.
Exactly, and call it business women. And I have 2 investors that are going to fund 3 episodes.
Oh, so episode and Beaver is kind of an episodic
Yes.
right? It's not just a standalone film.
Yeah, so we're going to shoot 3 half-hour episodes that can also be linked together as a full-length film if we wanted to do that. But I really want to pitch it to Netflix and Hulu as a potential series for them to pick up and base it all in Dallas.
That will be so much fun. I hope that works.
Yeah.
That works out. And hey, Rendezvous, by the way, next time you're in Dallas on a Friday, let us know so you can come sit in with us. We'd love to have you back.
Definitely. And the link to Rendezvous now, because in Beaver, the lead character's name is Cinna Monroe. and she's very country and, big pageant hair and everything. And so, of course, she might make an appearance in Businesswomen as a country gal who is, as they say, new money. Just like Kathy Bates in Titanic, and she shows up and just kind of stirs the pot a little bit and causes a lot of havoc.
Did she win the lottery? Maybe. New money.
Possibly. It needs to be super dramatic. It has to be something dramatic, like a death.
Yes.
Or something, an inheritance of some kind, or
like
something.
Grandma won the lottery and then died of excitement, and Rhonda inherited the ticket.
Because maybe Rhonda killed her. You just don't know. You just don't know. Remember, this is like all soap opera stuff, so it has to be like over the top.
Maybe Rhonda killed her.
Yeah. Exactly. So right now, we don't have a lot of it cast yet, but I am writing certain roles with people in mind. One of them is Richard Curtin, because although Richard does Edna Jean, he also has another persona who is like the pretty persona named Elizabeth.
I don't know that I've ever seen Elizabeth.
Yeah, Elizabeth is super glamorous, very like a Elizabeth Taylor in her heyday kind of look. And so I'm writing a role based on him, and her name is Barbara Bankwood, and she runs a male modeling agency. So you can just imagine that already. And I want her to be totally like Harvey Weinstein, super. You have to sleep with her to be a part of her agency. She even has a button on the bottom of her desk that she hits, and it locks all the doors. But she just has no apologies, no shame. She's like, oh yeah, yeah, because she's the owner. What are you gonna do?
Don't care.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? Fire her? She owns the place. So now what?
Yeah, exactly.
So
look at us just writing. I'm just writing his show for him. He doesn't even know.
Yeah. So anyway, that's why I was late, because I'm like, I'm not gonna cut off an investor. No. 2.
Not even.
So yeah. So we're hoping. I'm writing them right now.
Excellent.
And I'm gonna write 3 episodes. And then we're hoping to shoot it in February.
Oh, cool.
Because pre-production will take about a month, and getting it all ready. And, of course, a casting call. Because imagine, all the female roles are going to be played by trans women and drag queens. So we're going to do just like an open casting call. Because if other queens want to come in to try to get in on this,
steal away that role you wrote for one.
Yeah, because this is going to be super. I mean, we have a nice budget, so it's going to look super professional, shot in 4K with 4K cameras. It's going to look super legitimate, and we're going to post them all out on YouTube at first.
Watch
for free.
Watch what I'm about to do. So perhaps if you're filming on a Friday afternoon. We could do a DVtv live.
On the set. Yes.
That would be fun.
Yes. Because everyone would already be in character and great.
That would be a lot of fun.
Oh my God.
You have to film on a Friday so we can
Yes.
do that. Or, maybe we'll do it not even on a Friday. We'll have a DVtv Live special on the scene.
On the set of Businesswomen. Oh, and the slogan is, they're very busy. They have lots of things to do. Yeah.
Is it like Brad? Busy Brad.
She is. She's very busy. She's a businesswoman.
We love Brad.
Yeah. And I'm basing the whole thing, the title and everything, on the classic scene, of course, that every gay man should know. And if you don't, go and watch it, from Romeo and Michelle. when they're pretending to be businesswomen and they walk into the diner asking if there's a businesswomen special because they're businesswomen.
See, now I've never even seen Romeo and Michelle. I'm not a good gay man.
It's such a great scene. So I'm basing it all, not basing it all, but the title comes from Romeo and Michelle, where they're trying to be businesswomen.
That's where he got his inspiration.
Yeah, my inspiration. So the movie's pretty much all about corporate meetings, backstabbing, cheating, sex, blackmail, but it's all based in Dallas, the Dallas corporate world. Everyone's super successful.
This is kind of like the LGBT transgender version of Dallas.
Yeah, well, when you think about it.
Woman.
Ooh. Well, when you think about it, there isn't one scripted show yet that is a scripted series that have trans women and drag queens as leads. You have a lot of reality shows.
What about Pose? Isn't that a scripted show?
It is a scripted show, but it's not all.
Okay.
In my show, the drag queens play women. Right. They're not playing drag queens. They're playing legitimate women, sort of like Divine did with the John Waters films.
Okay. Yeah.
They're not playing drag queens, so they're playing women.
They're just women. They're women.
Yeah.
They're...
And there isn't anything like that out right now. So we'll be the first. So I'm hoping that someone will get wind of it, whether it's World of Wonder, who wants to help produce it, because they do a lot of the, mainstream gay stuff that's happening. So thank you, World of Wonder, for doing that, or WOW for short.
Yes.
But yeah, that's what we're doing. So I'm very excited about it.
It's gonna be so much fun. Hang on, is anybody over there, Steven?
Nope, she's gone.
Oh wait, I see Sean waving from the corner. Are you busy, Sean? Oh, never mind then. I was going to tell you, turn on Facebook and see if you can hear us and see us.
Oh, I could grab my phone to see if anybody's...
Let me do that. You're busy.
Oh, okay. But I did have a couple of topics that I wanted to discuss, which are sort of
I've got nothing for today.
I've got nothing. Nothing. No. Wait, I shouldn't say that because we don't have the rights to it. I have nothing.
Oh, that! No, we don't have the rights to that. Don't say that.
No. All right, I'm going to Dallas. I'm looking this up just in case you guys are commenting. We don't have any
goodies to give away right at the moment. We are, however, working on something. And just so y'all know, this is our last DVtv for 2018. Okay, we will be back. The Dallas Voice offices will be closed from. Next Friday, the 21st, we'll close at 5.
That's the page, right?
Yes. Are we not on there?
I'm clicking on it, but I don't see our video being. But maybe it is. Hold on, maybe it is. I'm just having to scroll through a lot of stuff. I don't.
Where are we? We may be doing all this and it's just going to
Dallas Voice newspaper, because it's asking me to sign up. It normally doesn't ask me to sign up. Is that the right page?
Let me see. Let us find this.
Sorry.
All right. Dallas Voice of Pride. No, Dallas Voice.
Is that the right page?
I believe. There's that. Yeah, this has got to be it. There's that.
Because this should be like one of the first things that pops up.
It really should. You know what? We're going to pretend like that y'all are looking at us. Can you see us?
I don't know why we're not.
We may be just recording.
Are we on your page, maybe?
Oh, Lord. Let's see.
Let me pull up Tammye.
If, by chance, we are streaming live on the Tammye Nash page instead of the Dallas Voice page, hi, y'all. Welcome to my page.
Hi, y'all.
We may be just recording this to the cord.
Well, we're not on yours.
So, who knows? We are sending this out into the universe.
Yeah.
E.T.'s going to show up here.
Because I don't see our video.
Oh, well, maybe we're just recording to the... Let's just pretend like we know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Tell me what you want to discuss.
So I wanted to talk about the fact that a certain radio station does not want to play "Baby It's Cold Outside."
Okay.
Because they say that
it's not a local station. It's
somewhere
else.
But it's a little. They're claiming that it's a little rapey. and they won't play it. And some people are saying, no, it's just, it's just a song and it's sweet and it wasn't meant to. I want to get your take on the song in general.
That's a difficult one for me.
Okay.
Because when I listen to it, it's, to me, they're just being coy with one another. And it was, back in the day, there was, I don't remember, Hardy Haberman's using it these days on Facebook because of their new rules. But the gay secret language back in the day to set things up. And it was just like a whole little language they had, and I don't remember what it's called. But to me, it was a different time, and it was the way that they were talking about, hey, I want to stay, I want you to stay, I really shouldn't stay because, that wouldn't look right. And to me, I've always seen it in those terms. But at the same time, I know someone who was raped. Someone who was attacked and raped, and they have a different viewpoint on that song. And to them, yes, it is rapey. It is creepy. It is manipulative. It's to them, it's what they hear is a woman saying, "You know what? I really want to go," and the guy's like, "Oh no, one more drink here, have a little,
Yeah.
And who am I to tell them that they're wrong and what they think of that? Everybody has different life experiences, and those experiences are what inform our opinions about things. I've never been through anything like that. And I don't get to tell somebody who has been what to think about a song or a person or a feeling or whatever else.
Yeah. So I was watching The View and they were talking about it, and I usually agree with Whoopi. This is one of the times where I disagreed with her because she kind of said what you said in the first part, where she said it was a different time.
It was.
The woman doesn't want to stay only because of how it might look to society, and to the guy they didn't necessarily mean stay because you want to have sex, but if you stayed, it was more of a it was almost like there was a level of respect back then of not necessarily sleeping with them, but stay over because that does mean something. And she said, and on top of everything else, it's just a song. My take on that was, I disagree with her. I don't think back then times were different where people didn't want the same things. Primally, men still wanted sex back then.
Oh yeah. Women may have too.
I personally feel that back then, the only reason it was made and it was okay and it became a classic was because back then rape was acceptable. Because men ruled the roost and women had less rights. Because...
And yes, let's say so over their own bodies.
I'm a big fan of songs from the 50s and 60s.
Me too.
When you think of some of the songs back then, most of the songs sung by women are all about girls wanting a guy, but they know that the guy's going to cheat on them or have cheated on them or are going to cheat on them, and the girl's like, oh, but after you're over that, then you're going to love me, so I'm going to stick with you. On the other end, at that same time, there are, a lot of them are like from Leslie Gore, maybe I know that he's been cheating, maybe I know, but she still loves him. But then, when you turn the tables, back then, you have a song like Run Around Sue, which is a guy who likes this girl, but because she's with somebody else, he's telling everyone, stay away from her, because she's just a run around Sue.
And she goes around with all the guys.
Yeah.
In town.
So back then, when you really look at the lyrics and hear the lyrics, back then, it's all run by men, everything is pretty much written by men, and it's pretty much trying to manipulate women that, hey, you need to be okay with men cheating because that's what we do and you just have to put up with it. And on the other end, you need to be super sweet because we don't want you if you're going to sleep around. So when I hear this song, I think, yeah, back then it was just okay to manipulate. And even when you watch the video of the original wasn't it from a movie?
I think so. I can't remember.
They showed the clip on TV, and it shows the girl just like you were saying, where she's trying to get her stuff. Oh, maybe I really can't stay. And when she's walking around, he walks in front of her. Oh, are you sure? And then she walks this way, and then he walks in front of her again. And especially with the line, "What's in this drink? Oh, but baby, it's cold outside." Because she's wondering if he put something in her drink because maybe she already took a sip or she saw him do something, but he's
Or
just all smiles.
Yeah.
I just think back then it was acceptable, when now I don't think we're more sensitive. I think now we are just more equal. Back
More
then,
aware.
more aware. Back then, the norm was unfair, being unfair and unequal, whether it was minorities or women. And it was just acceptable to be unfair. And now we're more fair and we're paying more attention.
And people
Is my
are
take.
coming into their own and demanding to be treated fairly.
Yeah.
Equally.
And so, along with that, the other topic I wanted to talk about, which is kind of about the same thing, is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
I don't,
right?
tell me this one. I've heard the Baby It's Cold Outside stuff for several years. What is the deal with Rudolph?
Okay, so Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, if you watch it nowadays, it's pretty much Rudolph as he's growing up and he's in school and, with the reindeer school, pretty much.
Yeah.
Everyone bullies him, and they don't make him a part of things because he's different, because he has a red nose.
And it glows.
And it glows, and they're like, yeah, that's
weird.
stupid. You're weird. There can be a lot of parallels to being gay in this film. So,
Not to mention the dentist. He is so great.
right?
Yes.
So then you have Santa, who has a scene with Rudolph, and Rudolph is there trying to be, they even try to disguise it by
Yeah.
putting mud on it.
Was that what it was? I thought it was just something on his nose. Yeah.
Yeah, or something. They get something and put it on him to color it, to make it like everybody else's, because Santa's coming over. Santa comes over. Oh, hi, Rudolph. Oh, you're so wonderful. Oh, your parents, everything is great. And then something happens. Oh, I think he sneezes, and
Yeah.
it pops off, and he sees the nose. Well, Santa becomes mad. And he's like, oh, I don't want you to be a part of things. You're terrible because of that nose. And the parents...
I don't remember it being like that.
It is. Because when I watched it as an adult, and I'm like, oh... I don't offend easily. I'm just saying this was my reaction.
Lord, no, he does not offend.
So then, close to the very end, it's Christmas Day. He's about to go off on his sled with all his reindeer, and now it gets foggy. And he's like, oh my God, how are we going to do this? And Rudolph is there, and his nose is glowing, and Santa's like, oh, Rudolph! We can use you now. Let's go through and you can help save the day. And Rudolph's like, okay. And then they do it. And I had a problem with that.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I have a different take. Okay?
Well, let me just finish my thought
sorry.
real quick.
No, I'm going to interrupt. Go ahead.
Then Rudolph helps and they go off and Rudolph saves the day and then they see him as a hero, right? That's great. Great moral of the story. The thing that's missing, that is not acceptable today, is that Santa should apologize. Should at least say, I'm so sorry with how I treated you then, but now I realize that that's something special. That doesn't happen in the short. Santa never apologized, never admitted that he may have been wrong or quick to judge. He's just like, mean. Oh, I need you now. Come on, help me. All right, thanks. Bye. Now you're okay. But he never apologized for his reaction and behavior.
Okay, I cannot argue with the no apology thing. And I'm going to admit it's been a few years since I've watched Rudolph. But for me, Rudolph was all about, has always been and is to this day for me, about the misfits and the weirdos being the ones who saved the day. All these strong, manly reindeer, they suck. They can't.
Yeah.
They can't do anything in the. And all the cuties.
They're worthy, and they're equal, and they're
They're better. They're not worthy and equal. They're better.
Yeah, they were better.
They're better because the things that people laugh at them about are the things. Right?
The Bumbles.
Abominables.
Oh, the abominable.
And then even the misfits are being too, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh, he just had a bad tooth.
Yeah, and he
the
needed
little
help.
fairy dentist fixed it.
They looked a little deeper.
Elf, not fairy. Elf.
Yeah,
dentist.
elf. Yeah, he was a fairy elf.
Kind of, yeah.
Fairy elf. Yeah.
Dennis.
No, it's like Herbie or
Herbie the dentist or
something like that.
Even the misfits are mistreating the abominable snowman until they realize,
Yeah.
everybody, and at the end, everybody has a role to play because nobody can get the star on top of the tree but the abominable snowman, right?
Yeah. and then he helped him do that. Yeah.
And so for me, it's about the misfits and the weirdos, even the Island of Misfit Toys. Think about that. That was the part that always made my little heart go,
Yeah. Oh, the Island of Misfit Toys. Yeah.
I would take you.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're weird, but they're not weird. They're special. And,
Yeah.
they come through and they save a day too.
And it's a great message. It has a lot of messages, but when you see it now, Santa just lacked that apology that he needed to give to make it complete. But I think because of the time, men were so in charge of everything that we just accepted that that's how it was, and we did not
show weakness.
Yeah.
You did not. It was the way, and it was part of the times. It is different now.
Because it gives me the same feeling. If you watch it now, have you watched The Birdcage lately?
Not in the last year, maybe a year and a half.
Oh, really? Okay.
No, I mean, it's not been that long.
Okay.
I watch it when I see it on TV.
Because when I see it now, like in the last 5 years, I have a different take on it. I don't like it as much because the true villain in that movie is the son.
Absolutely.
Who keeps bashing his dad because his dad's feminine and keeps telling him, you need to change. You need to stop being so gay. And I don't like it as much now, but I loved it when it came out because I understood.
I always thought that about the son.
Yeah.
I always saw him as an asshole.
Yeah.
It's like, this is the person who raised you, but I still like the movie because, once again, it's the weirdos and the misfits that come through, and they're the ones that save the day.
Yeah.
Right?
And I remember watching it thinking,
and then nothing mattered more to me. This is one thing. Yeah. Because there was, I don't remember when it first came out, but I do know that there was controversy in the community about it then. It's like, it's like, oh, well, big deal. He signed a piece of paper or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
To me, the message of the story, the message of the movie, the story, the thing about it all was shit happens, but when it gets down to it, nothing mattered to these two people more than themselves and the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of them would get irritated with the other because he was such a drama queen.
Yeah,
had to have his hearing tablets.
Yes.
And there were some caricatures,
But they were all based on reality because we all have people who are like that. I know some drama queens. Not that we're one of them.
Not.
We're not drama queens.
No.
But other people
never.
are.
But in the end, it was a love story between those two men.
Mm-hmm.
And they were the ones that raised the child right. They were the ones that had the best. When it came right down to it, they were the ones with the best morals, the best values.
Yeah. It's true. And of course, the performance of the two main guys.
Oh God,
Robin Williams, goodness, so good.
Genius.
Yeah.
He was genius.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another whole topic about tortured genius.
Yeah. So. But yeah, watch Rudolph and let me know what you think.
I'll try to find it. But I still don't think it's going to bother me because I'm sitting there thinking, the fact, to me, the apology's implied.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's just me, but watch it and then let me know what you think. Yeah, let me know what you think because I grew up with that show and I loved it. And then I saw it, after not seeing it for about 15 years, and then I was like, oh, the message is still the same, but that part is lacking to me, that it makes him not likable to me. It's like I'm happy for Rudolph, but I don't like Santa.
Claus.
I just don't like Santa
Claus
now.
a bitch.
Yeah, and I don't think that was the intent. I think everyone would be like, "Oh, Santa changed as well," and maybe he did, but he needs to say those words. He needs.
I'm going to tell you what. And it's been a minute or two, but I had many years ago an ex who had 2 children, or she wasn't an ex many years ago. I have an ex now who many years had 2 children, and that was back in the day of VCRs.
What's that?
And at Christmas, the youngest one insisted that we VCR Rudolph.
Oh.
And every day after school, I mean, June,
Watch it.
we'd come home and she'd say, Rudolph! And she and I would sit there on the couch together.
Oh, you'd be made to watch it?
I would sit with her and watch. Nobody else did. I sat with her on the couch and we watched Rudolph. And she could do the dialogue. We would do the dialogue in all the voices. And we had Rudolph's voice and Santa Claus. Eat, Papa, eat. Nobody likes
That's
us,
right.
Santa.
Yeah.
You know, and I still see that to the day. Today, I mean, I'll sit down and I'll eat and I'll be full and I will say that.
Used to watch when I was a kid. That's still my favorite, right next to Gremlins, because Gremlins is my go-to Christmas movie. But
Forget Gremlins.
yeah, it's all based on
You always go,
Christmas.
Die Hard. Die Hard's the best Christmas. No, Gremlins.
But right next to Gremlins, but it's my number one above Gremlins is Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. I watch that all the time because my sister and I still quote the one scene where one of the Muppets, you know, he's like the cool cat, the leader of the rock band, you know, they're the bad guys. And he says, "Hey, I'm hungry." And they're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, we're okay. Hey, everybody, Chuck's hungry. And then he's like, "No, I'm not hungry. I'm hungry." And then they're all like, okay. And then they go get something to eat. So, you know, I have that show that I have memorized from beginning to end, and I'm so surprised at how many people don't know about this show. Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas, Jim Henson.
I've heard of it.
I think I related to it because in the movie it's a poor family, and they're hawking things, which when I was a kid didn't know what hawking meant, and they only use hawking in the TV show, and I never knew what it meant, but it's selling stuff. But they're always trying to sell things to make ends meet. And the mom's poor, so she washes people's clothes. He's poor, so he just does odd jobs like fixing fences. And I think I related to it because the whole premise is Emmett wants to buy his mother something nice for Christmas. She wants to buy him something nice for Christmas, and she wants a dress that's kind of expensive, and he wants a guitar. And so they're trying
really
to
love this movie, don't you?
Oh, I do, and it just has a wonderful message, and I just related to them because I'm like, oh my gosh, it's they're representing me and my family where we want to do great things.
What is is it O. Henry story? The locket, where the husband. Never mind. You'd have to look it up. It's about a couple that are, and it may be at Christmas, and she has this gorgeous long hair, and he loves her hair, and he takes the most important thing to him, and I don't remember what it was, and he sells it so to buy her a comb for her hair, you know, a decorative, I think, comb for her hair. And she wants to do something so great for him that all she can do is to have her hair cut and sold so that she can buy this gift for him, which would have gone with whatever it was he sold.
So I think this was inspired by that movie because in this one, Emmett wants to enter a jug band contest or a music contest so he can win the prize money to buy his mom a dress. So he takes, all he plays is wash tub bass. So they make a bass out of a wash tub. Well, that wash tub is what his mother uses to wash clothes for people to make money. So he puts a hole in it. You know, which is going to keep her from making money, and then she does something along those same lines. So yeah, I think they were inspired by that. But it's a wonderful movie. I'm going to go watch it tonight. I'm going to watch it tonight because I own it. I bought it. But I introduce it to the younger generations in my family every Christmas. Because it's got back, and it's just a lot of fun, and it's my favorite movie. I watch it every single year. Christmas is Christmas because of Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas.
See, that's important. That's a tradition.
Yeah.
And this is kind of off the subject, but it's about movies that we loved way back, and do we think they play well now, right? That's kind of what we're talking about.
Some of them do not age well.
No, you feel like Birdcage.
And Birdcage, yeah, Birdcage.
I'm thinking along the lines of the gay movies. Have you
Uh-huh.
ever seen a movie called The Ritz?
Yes. Yes.
Yes?
Mhm.
What do you think about it? That is one of my all-time favorite movies ever.
Now, the Ritz, it all takes place at a bathhouse, right?
Bathhouse,
Rita
yes.
Moreno?
Rita Moreno.
Okay, yeah.
F. Murray Abrams.
Yes, yes. Okay, so I remember watching it, and I thought it was fun. I wasn't super crazy about it, but I did like it. I did like it because it has its parts that sort of just drag for a little bit, but it's really, really funny. I remember that.
It's hysterical.
The whole thing takes...
My boyfriend Hector, he cut you with a knife this long.
It's all based at a bathhouse.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the whole story, if you can find it and watch it, the whole idea is that Gaetano lives in Philadelphia with his wife, and he runs the sanitation in Philadelphia, but his wife's family is basically mobbed up, and they run the sanitation in New York, and her father is dying, and his dying words are kill Gaetano, because he thinks Gaetano is going to try and take over the business away from his own son, who is Mira. Mira, and it was the couple.
their names.
Mira and Stiller, maybe? I don't know. But anyway, that's the last thing he says. And Gaetano hears him, and he's like, oh, and he grabs his stuff, and he's trying to hide until they can go back to Philadelphia, right, from his crazy brother-in-law. And he runs down, and he has his bag, and he tells the taxi cab driver, take me to the last place on earth my crazy brother-in-law will look for me. And he takes him to a bathhouse.
Gay bathhouse.
A gay bathhouse called The Ritz.
And he has to hide out.
Back up.
And it's
He
sort
doesn't
of
know.
it's sort of a private club where men go for sex and it was almost like a little mini private hotel.
Yeah, you had the steam rooms and the swimming pool.
Yeah,
and they
it's really
had the
fun.
stage downstairs. It was
Yeah.
based kind of like on the old Continental Baths.
Yeah.
That story with Bette Midler and Barry Manilow
Yeah,
singing.
I think it was based on her because she got started
in the
bathhouse. Yeah,
but Rita Moreno plays the Puerto Rican drag queen, or not drag queen, Puerto Rican performer who sings there, and
Yeah.
everybody thinks she's a drag queen, which pisses her off.
Mm-hmm.
It's hysterical.
So I have one, and that's a great segue, talking about her, people thinking she's a drag queen. The movie that I think has aged very well, that I still introduce to so many people that have never seen it, is Victor Victoria.
Oh, that was my other one. That's
See, great minds think alike. So for those of you who have not seen it, I think it came out like 80 or 81.
yes,
Early
81,
80s.
82. It was
Okay.
early 80s.
Julie Andrews. Hi. Oh, okay. I'm in trouble. The principal just told me he
boss.
needs to see me. But so it's Julie Andrews. She is an actress, singer, and she's broke because
Coloratura soprano.
yeah,
Perfect
yes.
soprano voice.
And she's getting no work. I sounded just like her.
I know you
didn't I?
did. It was
She's literally starving because she's
Yeah.
looking through the mirror of people eating these.
the most pornographic scene
I know.
ever.
And
yes.
she passes out. Her gay friend takes her in and
Well,
has
he
a game.
doesn't know her,
Yeah, he doesn't know her.
but he takes her in.
But he takes her in, super gay, and he comes up with the plan. Why doesn't she, because she's such a good singer, why doesn't she pretend to be a drag queen? And so the line in the
Sings
movie,
live.
of course, is her saying, you want me to pretend...
You want me to pretend I'm a man?
Pretending to be a man, pretending to be a woman. And he says, yes, it's brilliant. So he has to train her to be a drag queen. And there's this one scene where he's like, no, bigger shoulders, bigger arms, you're a drag queen. And so then she becomes the hit of Paris with people thinking she's a drag queen. And James Garner,
Yes.
who's like super testosterone man, like the epitome of a man.
He's the American mob guy.
Yeah, and he starts falling in love with her. But he's confused because he's like, this is a drag queen, so I'm falling in love with the man? And the movie It was so ahead of its time. Leslie Ann Warren. Oh my God. She has a number that she does called Chicago, Illinois. Oh my God. I've seen many a drag queen do this number, but it's great, and she's super witty, and she talks like this, and she's so good. And yeah, she's jealous of Julie Andrews because her man is James Garner, who's in love with this drag queen. Oh,
it's amazing. It is an amazing movie.
Wonderful.
And
movie.
It breaks my heart to think we are talking to people who might not even know anything about it.
Such a good movie. But
yes, it has
aged
well.
very well. A movie that has not, or the show that has not, is like Rent.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never seen that. So
Rent is very 80s.
But it was very specific to a time. It's like an historical time capsule, I guess.
Yeah.
Because
and I think for me personally, there for a while I was like, okay, enough depressing movies where the gay people die and then the movie ends. You know, like Lifelong Companion was one of them. Rent is another one. There were a few of them that were all depressing, and I understand we need to get that message out and everything, but after a while it's like give us some more fun movies, and that's when Priscilla came out. That's when Tu Wong Fu came out, and all of these more fun ones.
Tu Wong Fu, I love Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. I mean, that's just so much fun. But Tu Wong Fu, I mean, to see those guys really embrace those parts.
Oh yeah,
the way they did.
Yes.
Wesley Snipes.
Oh, as Noxzema Jackson. Yes.
Did you just do it? You just did it. You made it.
Yeah.
Cracks me up.
Yes.
Cracks me up.
Yes.
So.
Oh, it's 5 o'clock.
Oh, it's 5 o'clock.
Yes.
I guess that means we have to sign off.
Gotta go.
And there's Stephen. So I guess we're going to sign off.
We won't be here. Right, Men on Films. I am Antoine Merriweather. But do you not know those skits? Men on Films.
Yes.
For those of you who have never seen Men on Film, it was from In Living Color in the mid '90s or late '90s. It was like a ghetto version of Live on Fox Channel when Fox Channel was new, and it was two gay black men pretending. Well, yeah, and they were doing
pretending
movie
to
reviews.
Be gay.
Yeah.
What were the the family?
The Wayans. One of them was, and then the other one was.
It's the show where J-Lo got her start as a fly girl.
Yeah, exactly. But they did a skit called Men on Films, and you just have to watch it. It was probably the best skit that came out of that, about two gay men doing movie reviews, and of course they only liked the reviews with men or the movies with men, and they hated all the women movies.
You know, was it Damon Wayans who did that movie? It was in a movie where he played a private detective, and Jada Pinkett Smith was in it.
Yes.
And you remember Amazing Grace?
Amazing Grace, who was from Dallas,
an amazing.
She was in it.
Performer from here, and she was hysterical. But another Wayans thing.
Yes.
Anyway, we're gonna stop with the movie review.
Yeah.
Y'all missed all the good stuff.
And we won't be here next week.
We will not be here next week or the week. We'll be here January 11th. Friday, January 11th, we will be back with all new DVtv live.
Yeah.
And from right here in glamorous Dallas Voice offices in the Design District of Dallas. So anyway, we love y'all. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Happy New Year.
Enjoy whatever it is you celebrate. Enjoy celebrating it.
Yes.
And we will see you next year.
Yay.
Yay. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
I like how the Texas comes out.
Everyone's
Okay, bye.
That's Stephen in case.